All right. Good morning, Senior Home Business family. How you guys doing today? Today is Monday, September 16th, 2024. Time is flying by like no other. Oh my gosh. I just went to one of my grandkids' birthdays over the weekend. And it's just, man, the kids keep getting older, which means yours truly keeps getting older. But nevertheless, I want to talk to you today about how to make $5,000 on one phone call. And this blows me away that this could even be done. If you know any about my backstory and different things in my life, 10 years ago, I was a very much different place financially, and I'm not going to get into all of that backstory. You can watch some other videos if you like, find out all about my past history in terms of money. Never was destitute, homeless, anything like that, but yet struggling paycheck to paycheck, things like that. But how to make $5,000 on one phone call just blows me away. This can even be done. I used to have a mentality about money that it was just money was scarce. I mean, money was hard to make. And over time, I just had to shift my mindset from money being hard to make to money is easy to generate. Money just comes to me easily. It flows. Money is energy. It's currency. We actually call it currency, right? So it just shifts. And so it moves in our direction. And so there's a lot of different things we can do. And I'm going to go with you today, how to make $5,000 in one phone call. And where this title comes from, it happened again yesterday. I was just out for an errand, had some family coming over, getting ready to barbecue. And so I had something I had to do. So I went out, and before I got out of the car, I got a phone call, and it was a realtor friend of mine, part of my network. And she wanted to know if there was a board and care that I can help her friend out with. And it was a $5,000 lead, and it was literally that easy. And it just blows me away because it used to not be this way. I used to, have to spend 30 days before I made $5,000. And reality is you can actually do this in one phone call, and it's just that easy. And so, how did this all come about? I'm going to tell you a little bit about this and tell you a little bit of some things you need to do. I'll give you 4 steps in terms of how to start generating income on the phone. Now, whether you do something like we're doing as a senior placement agent, or whether you're a realtor, or whether you're an entrepreneur doing some different things, might be some different things you can implement in your business to get it going, to get you to a place where you can start making money. But a lot of it has to do with mindset, and I won't get all involved with that as well because I've done some videos on that. But that is the biggest thing. Over the years, if someone would ask me, Matt, what has changed? What exactly did you do? What steps did you take to go from being broke to not having any concerns about money? And the biggest thing is mindset. And I work on that each and every day. It's not you just become so optimistic about money that it's just always going to be there. And you just, such a good person. I know I'm being taken care of. And I just, I'm better than I deserve and all this kind of stuff. But it's, a challenge. But it's each and every day that I make a decision, that I go through some steps in the morning to prepare myself, knowing that this day is going to be better than yesterday. And you can look on a previous video of mine too, where I talk about how your thoughts, you need to change your thoughts, because 90% of your thoughts today will be the same as they were yesterday. That stat blows me away. Now, that's not some woohoo, that's a scientific fact. And so we wonder why we're stuck in life, because, we keep doing the same thing over and over again, right? That's the definition of insanity. However, if we don't change our thoughts, our actions are going to remain the same. So it begins in your mind, your thoughts. You need to be very intentional about changing your thoughts. So here's a couple things I want to go through with you today. But before I do, I want to go over a story, a true story, a friend of mine that I've known for years. Unfortunately, I haven't talked to him probably in a long time. He lives on the East Coast, and how we drift apart as we get older, around 55 and those kind of things. But I was in my early 20s, and he was as well. And this guy worked at CBN on the East Coast in Virginia when Pat Robertson's was still around. And he worked in the mailroom, making minimum wage. And he had a wife and a kid, and just barely making it. I mean, just like anyone else. I mean, just making minimum wage and you got a wife and a kid, you're not going to be able to enjoy a lot of things in life. And you just, you're more concerned about paying the electric bill and getting food on the table and things like that. So he had this dream of being a jingle writer, and he just wanted to, he felt like he had a talent. He could play the piano, he could sing a little bit, he had some connections, and he just wanted to do jingles for certain companies. And he went out and he started to get his work out, and then no companies would respond to him. They were just like, yeah, I don't know. No, we'll get back to you. And just the end result was he didn't get any work from it. So he's always in the mailroom. Well, one day, Pat Robinson, when he was still around, he needed to be picked up from the airport. Well, my friend was in the mailroom, and of course, making minimum wage, he had a junky car. I mean, it was kind of rusted, dirty, and it just was not a good looking car. But he said, hey, I'll go pick him up. So he volunteered to go pick up Pat Robinson at the airport. So he did. On the way back, Pat started asking him about, hey, what do you want to do in life? And he says, man, I really want to be a jingle writer. He said, have you got anything started? He says, well, I'm trying. He said, you got any demos? And my friend goes, yeah, I actually got one in the car. So he popped it in back in the day when you had cassettes. Remember those days? So he popped in the cassette. Excuse me, Pat Robertson listened to it. I said, you know what? Write us a jingle, CBN. Kick it over to us. We'll get back to you. So he did that. He thought, well, maybe it's going to be like very similar to other companies. He spent 10, 15 minutes, something just very, he has some inspiration. He got the jingle and he kicked it over to Pat Robertson. They accepted that jingle. And for the next 5 years thereafter, he made a royalty on that $75,000 a year for the next 5 years. Doesn't seem like a lot of money now. Back in the early 90s, that was a lot of money, and from one client. And what that one client did, it opened up doors for him to do a jingle with Pepsi and different Pizza Hut and different other companies out there, because now CBN endorsed them. So you're just one contact away, but you've got to change your mindset. And see, his mindset was one of, man, I got to break through and exercise my talent. This is what I really want to do. So what is it you want to do as an entrepreneur, as maybe a senior placement agent, a realtor, insurance agent, whoever you are? But you have to do some of these different things here. And we'll get into 4, but I want to get into the first 2 here, and then I'll jump into some 4 others. But you need to become a producer, not a consumer. Everybody wants to just consume, right? Yesterday, I was a consumer. I was watching football. I was watching my Raiders win. That was awesome. But I was a consumer, right, for a number of hours. None of those 2 hours of watching football produced any money in my life. Didn't move the ball down the field of my business at all. But I used to live that way. I used to be a consumer all the time. I used to just, get up, look at social media, go to work, hang out with friends, do certain things, and then just go home and rinse and repeat, right? And so, but I was constantly a consumer. You've got to make a deliberate decision that you're going to be a producer and not a consumer. If you make that decision now, a lot of times that comes in social media, right? I know some people don't like social media. Sometimes it's very threatening. It's intimidating. It's just, oh my gosh, I can't get in front of the camera. I can't begin to speak. I don't want to take pictures of myself. My hair's not looking too good. Fortunately for me, I don't have to worry about that, right? My hair is always looking good, at least on top, beard, not so much. But, you just got to make that decision. If you really want to be who you want to be, you've got to get eyeballs on your business. And how you do and how you're going to make that $5,000 on one phone call is you're going to have to be a producer, not a consumer. And I started this in my business back in 2018. And some of it I just did by intuition. I just started just doing certain things. I didn't have necessarily all the strategies laid out then in 2018 when I first started my business, but I just started getting in front of the camera, started going out and utilizing my cell phone, taking pictures and videos and all that. But what I was doing, I was becoming a producer and not a consumer. And it got eyeballs on my business, and it got me to the place where people were viewing me and seeing me in different light, right? It wasn't the guy that, oh my God, he just started his business 3 months ago. He just started his business 6 months ago. They started viewing me as though I'd been doing this for a long, long time. Now, part of my backstory, I did have a little bit of a history of large communities. So I did have a little bit of background there, but a lot of these other people that I would meet didn't know that part of my story until I told them. So they just, saw me on social media and arrived at a conclusion that this guy is the expert. He's the person that knows everything there is to know. And that was probably furthest from the truth, right? I still don't classify myself as an expert. I still feel like I'm learning in a lot of areas, but you've got to become a producer, not a consumer. And then day to day, this is a mindset thing, is you got to focus on micro and not macro. It's very tempting, very easy today, especially during the election year, to focus on macro, focus on things that are out of your control, get wrapped up into things that just are not going to move the needle at all in your favor or for your business or anything else. And, we all have our certain beliefs and certain opinions. And I'm not saying don't act on those and don't vote. You should vote, you should be involved in those things, but make sure that you're involved in the macro things of your life, the things that are going to directly impact you, right? For me to sit down and watch, let's say football yesterday for 2 hours, that was recreational, had fun. I had some cheers, especially since we won, things like that. But, it didn't really do anything micro for me. Maybe emotionally, it got me to a place, but, sometimes it gets me to a negative place. If your team loses, oh my gosh, man, you kind of get ticked off. So you just want to focus on the micro things that are going to improve your life. Okay, so I want to get into these 4 things now, how to make $5,000 on a phone call. The first one is build strong referral relationships. There's a lot more to the business, and I'm not getting so much into the senior placement business today as I just am talking about business in general, being an entrepreneur. So, but you have to have some strong referral relationships. I mean, the more hands you shake, the more money you're going to make, right? The more people you hang out with, more people that know you, you have to understand where these people are, be with them, like them. My whole viewpoint on networking is I like to hang around people that are like-minded as me and like industry. That's just my 2 things, right? I don't typically like to hang around people that just rub me the wrong way, right? They have what I think a terrible personality. They might think I've got a terrible personality, but you just don't click, right? So I think life's too short. I think we don't need to be around that. I think there's plenty of opportunity, plenty of people out there that you will connect with. You will enjoy being in their presence. And so be around them, and hopefully they're in like industry and you can help one another. You can help them and they can help you, but build strong referral relationships and then position yourself, excuse me, as an expert. You have to position yourself. Now, I notice I didn't say call yourself an expert. Notice I didn't say, oh man, I'm the best at what I do. Now, I want you to view it that way. I view it that way. I feel like I'm the best at what I do, but I never go around telling people that, right? I don't go around going, oh, I'm the expert, I'm the best. But you need to position yourself as an expert, meaning you need to be excellent in everything that you do. I mean, whether it's your website, whether it's your business card, whether it's the way you talk on the phone, whether it's the way you handle clients, whatever it is, you need to position yourself as an expert, meaning you are a person of excellence. You're always over delivering, and you just whatever you say you're going to do, you over deliver. And it goes with that. A little cliche is just under promise, right? That would be kind of a cool thing to do, but position yourself as an expert. The third thing, this does relate to the senior placement business, is that you need to negotiate placement fees. If you're going to make that $5,000 on a call, it's impossible to do for the most part, unless it's just an outrageous amount of money someone's spending per month. But it's going to be nearly impossible if you got a 50% referral fee attached to your agreement with that community. I remember talking to an individual in my own area several years ago, and she's a placement agent. She's been doing it about a year longer than I have. She's got a different philosophy. She only does 2 per month, which I don't know if you notice or not, but in this business, if you're just doing 2 a month, you're making right at 6 figures. And she just want to do 2 a month. She didn't want to expand things like that. She's a grandmother, going to church, things. But anyway, all her referral agreements were at 50%. So she was shocked to hear that I started at 80%, and now to date, most of my referral agreements are 100%. And I told her, I said, you're not going to be able to scale. You're not going to be able to scale at all. Now, I know you want to limit yourself to 2 per month because of all these other obligations and things you enjoy in life and want to do and not get consumed with the business, but you got to raise your percentages. You have to. So you have to negotiate your placement fees. I say negotiate because a lot of communities will, in fact, want to keep you at 50%, 70%, 75%, whatever it may be. And you just have to determine what your threshold is in this business, whether that's what you want to do. Now, if it's a totally different business altogether, you just got to determine with your contracts and your agreements with different vendors or companies you're dealing with, is that going to move the needle in your favor in your business? Is it going to help your business grow? Is it going to help your business expand? If not, then you need to relook and rethink the way you're doing business. So it starts with negotiating the referral fees. And I think I do a pretty good job with this. I know exactly where my threshold is. I know exactly where I draw the line. I remember I had a community that wanted to just give me 50%. And I know some referral agents and placement agents out there will do 50%. I don't think 50% does anything for me. Now, it's not from the standpoint I don't want to help a senior, because I help a lot of seniors, and maybe I'm just not the right person for that particular job. It's kind of like if you're in construction, and I've never been in construction, but if you're bidding on a construction job, I mean, what you're willing to go down to. And at a certain point, you might be taking a loss, or it's just not worth your time or whatever. Same in this business here. You just have to negotiate your placement fees and get it to a place where your business is profitable, because that's how you're easily going to expand your business, how you're easily going to get that $5,000 call. And that's how I did yesterday. It's where the community had 100%, got the call from the realtor, moved the person over to, fortunately, it's one of the top 3 care homes in my area that was available. And I was able to get that person over there at 100%. It was a $5,000 call. It didn't take that long. The fourth and final thing I want to tell you is you need to deliver value to your clients. That's the easiest way to get a $5,000 phone call, is if you just continue to over deliver for your clients, continue to go beyond what people think and expect from you to do, right? You're just going to go beyond and stand out. And that will in turn get people looking at you a little bit different, right? You want to always think in terms of what's in the best interest of your client. You always want to think in terms of how you can make their life easier, how you can solve their problem, whatever it may be, but deliver value for your clients. Because if it's all about you and you're getting $5,000 on the phone call, but you're not thinking about your clients, it's going to be short-lived. You've got to focus on your clients, and you get what you focus on. You really do. And that's why making money is easy today, because you focus on money. That's what's going to grow. You focus on anything, it's going to grow. I'm telling you, just use this basic exercise today. Go through today and do nothing but focus on your problems. I guarantee you, at the end of the day, your emotional level is going to be so low. You're going to be down. You're going to be worried. You're going to be depressed. Maybe you're going to be overly concerned. You're going to be fearful. There's going to be so many negatives that are coming out of you if you're just focusing on problems all day. But now reverse it. Go focus on what your dreams are. Go focus on what your target is. Go focus on your goals. How are you going to phrase it? Go focus on the things that you want in life, and focus on those things all day, and see how your emotional quotient is. I mean, how your emotional level is. I mean, is it, you'll probably be more joyful. You're going to be, more fulfilled. You're going to be more at peace, more calm, things like that when you focus on the things that you want in life. So yeah, same with your clients. When you focus on your clients and you over deliver for them, what happens is they're going to get that feeling of, man, this person really has my best interest in mind. And they're going to share the word with other people. They're going to spread your name to other people. They're going to start talking about you. But if you don't, they're going to talk about you in a negative light, and then you're going to start getting that negative feedback. So make sure you over deliver to your clients, and that'd be a way to get that $5,000 call. So I hope and pray that you guys would see money differently today. See it as energy, as I see it. I can go into a whole bunch of things about money, but it's just change your mindset on money, and do some studying on it. Do some studying on where you are, and figure out exactly what your negative beliefs are, your limiting beliefs, and turn those things into a positive mindset, where again, it could be money's hard. It's hard to make money. Turn that around and say, you know what? It's easy to make money. Money comes to me easily. It's not difficult at all. And then to associate that new belief, that decision you're making, that new belief, with a story that you have in your life. We all have a story where something like, let's say we're talking about money came to us easily. Somebody went to the casino and just lucked up and pulled a lever and made $1,000. Someone, got that unexpected phone call of an inheritance, or someone, you got someone just gave you money because they just felt like, they were being generous, and they heard that you were in need and wanted to help you out. We all have those stories, and start associating and thinking about those things. And again, that will help you improve your mentality your mindset going forward, and it will get you to that place where you make that $5,000 sale on a call very easily. So hopefully this was helpful for you guys today. And until next time, God bless.